So for today's video, you're gonna need some salt, glue, water, watercolors, a paintbrush, and cardstock. I already went ahead and folded my cardstock in half, hamburger style. That way I can put my art on this side. Also, don't forget that if you need to slow down or you need to gather your stuff, you can always pause this video whenever you'd like. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to draw a snowflake and I'm going to use the glue to do it. You can use a pencil too if you want to draw it first and then trace it with the glue, but I'm going to skip that step myself. So I'm just going to get the glue and I'm going to put a lot of glue because I want it to look very, very like big. And then I'm going to draw my snowflakes, different angles of it. And it's okay if you make mistakes like I did right there. We can just brush off the salt once we put it on there. So I have all my glue down now, so I'm gonna start putting my salt down. And if you can, always, I forgot to do it, but if you can, remember to put a paper under your cardstock before you start putting your salt down. That way you don't have to clean up all that mess that like I just made. Okay, so now I'm going to brush off all of the salt that I have on here. What it looks like when I first dump it, and I just went like this. I barely tapped it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put it sideways and I'm gonna hit the back so more salt can come off. And then I'm gonna tap it on here. I'm gonna flip it over and do the exact same thing. Then right there, that's where I made a little mistake, but you can just scrape it right off. And there you go. There's my snowflake. And now here comes the other fun part. I'm gonna get rid of the salt and put it back in my container. I'm gonna put my paper back on here again just in case the water goes anywhere from the watercolors. It won't make a mess. It'll be right on the paper. So I'm gonna grab my paintbrush and I'm gonna dip it into gonna make it blue because it's a snowflake. Oh, I almost forgot to say that you can also add little like snow droplets. So I'm gonna do that real quick before I forget again. Remember, this is your art and you can do whatever you want with it. Then I'm gonna pour some salt over it again. Don't forget to have your piece of paper ready. In order to be able to keep your art for a very long time, you have to make sure that you don't put too much water. You just want to get a little bit of water on the brush and then you can start brushing the top of the salt. Some of the little salt flakes will come off, and that's okay. And this is finished product, and now I'm just gonna grab the blue paint and then I'm gonna write the year 2020 on it because that's the year that we're in. Oops. And I'm gonna write my name. And now I'm just gonna let it dry. I hope you guys have fun. Don't forget that you can reserve these books at the Thousand Palms Library by giving us a call at 760-343-1556. Watch our Storytime videos by Angelina.
Everyone. Welcome to Digital Storytime at Thousand Palms Library. My name is Angelina and today...
And Spanish Storytime with Lili.
Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Me llamo Lilia, trabajo aquí en la biblioteca de Mil Palmas y ahora les vamos a leer
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Happy holidays.